Good morning. This is Diamond Painting Creepy Cutie. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Today is Sunday. I think it's 19. I'm not sure. Um, I it's about 5:30 in the morning. I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you very much. Yay! I passed 100. I am so grateful of all of you guys who yesterday came to our life with Real Man's Like to Craft, and also myself. We had a blast. I want to thank Ritter for inviting me as a guest in his channel. And thank you all of you who yesterday came, and we had a lot of fun, and we had a good time, and we were able to know each other a little bit more. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, thank you for coming back and giving me a little tiny bit of your time. This is kind of going to be a whip and chat. I am in my R.A1 table, and I ordered this in Temu, these stickers. These stickers, like you see here, I have one of these trays that has a lid, and the one that has these little pots. So I bought two of them because they were like $7. So I bought three for $21 and free shipping. So I have one in use, and I want to kit up another of my canvases that I have to work for my mother-in-law. So I want to decorate my other ones with these stickers that are no canvas diamond painting. And here you see I have Jack Skellington, of course, and Sandy. And here is Oogie Boogie Zero and Oogie Boogie, how he really is. Sometimes they put him this green, sometimes this brown, and here's Jack. So I'm going to be working with those, but I also, in this little box that I only paid 67 cents, I kitted up also my coasters that I'm going to be working with, because I am been up since my husband usually goes to work at midnight, and he's an officer, so he has to go to work the night shift. So I went to bed early after the live. My husband and I went out and ate something, because you, Richard, talk about so much food and Mexican food that I wanted to eat some nachos. So we went to our favorite Mexican restaurant yesterday. And while I talk to you, I am going to work in one of the stickers. This is the first time that I do a no canvas thing. So I assume that you cut them so as you work, and then you remove the plastic. So I've been up since 3:30 this morning, and because like I said, yesterday we had the chat, and oops, I guess I put this in the wrong, okay. After the live, like I said, since yesterday, my husband worked Sunday through Wednesday. He worked 4 days, 12-hour shift. So he told me, let's go out and eat Mexican food, because Richard talking about food, talking about nachos, and all those kind of stuff, it make us hungry for Mexican food. So after that, I came home. My husband started getting ready for work, and I kind of did a couple of things that I usually do. Watch read a little bit. I'm hearing the fairy tale of Stephen King in my Audible, and I diamond paint a tiny little bit on my livery. So I wake up. When I open my eyes, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't feel like I wasn't sleepy anymore. So my I my Luna was next to me. She sleeps at the end of the bed. Even though she got her own bed, she always get into bed with us, and she goes to the end of the bed. She sleep at my feet. She kind of curl in a little ball and sleep there. And so I wake up and I says, I'm not sleepy anymore. I feel rested. So I went and I have my Ninja and my Keurig. So I use my Keurig and I make myself a cup of coffee. And the flavor I used was salted caramel with a hint of vanilla. So I have a good cup. I usually used to call it my cup of Joe, because a friend, my sister and I says, "Did you have your cup of Joe yet?" And it's funny because when my sister and I used to talk about the cup of Joe, and my daughter was a little girl, she one time said to her dad, Dad, I think mom has go and have coffee with a guy named Joe." And it's just, when my husband told me, it's just made me laugh so hard. And I explained to her that we call a cup of Joe a cup of coffee. So now that she's a grown-up woman and she's 33, like you saw in the picture, if those who were live yesterday, if you haven't seen it and you want to see the replay and want to laugh a little bit, I will put a link to it. And so that's my story with the cup of Joe and my sister and my daughter thinking that I was drinking coffee with another man. It's so funny, but those little things that happens. So I decided to work on my stickers because I want to kit up another of my painting, and it's a nativity. It's a big one. It's a 50 by 60 that I bought for my mother-in-law. So it has to be ready for before Christmas because I want to send it to her. Her birthday is on July 11th. So I want to see if I can start it now and send it to her for her birthday. And so I decided to work on these stickers that are smaller and they're kind of fun. And also, don't forget, like I say, the 25th, I'm going to pick a winner. Well, I'm going to close my giveaway. And there's two prizes, one for USA and one for international. So if you're international, you will get a gift card. And if you're in the US, you're going to get a big box. I show some of the stuff there, but um, there's more stuff. I added more stuff in the box. So I love getting up. I'm a night owl. Um, I had a lot of issue one time sleeping, and when I was beginning, when I was diagnosed with my lupus, I was getting so much medication for it, and I was sleeping during the day, and then when my husband left, used to go to work after, he wake up at midnight to be ready and be on his way. I will wake up, I will get up and stay up, and then I will take a little nap during the day. I don't like to take naps because I don't know if you guys, but when I take naps during the day, um, sometimes if I sleep for long periods of time, I get cranky. So, but I'm always been a night owl. I liked my favorite, like you saw yesterday, whoever was there. I call that my cozy corner because I have a big chair. It's a vintage chair that I bought in a vintage thrift store, and it's huge, but it's so comfortable. So I have a side table there with my books that I'm reading and some of my decorations, things that make me happy. I like always to burn a candle because I like you know, the smell of candles. My favorite candles, I usually go to Ross or Home Goods or TJ Maxx or Marshall's, one of those. Or sometimes I even go to Michael's, and they have Michael's are, some of their scents are nice, but there's others that don't smell as much. But oh, the ones from that I buy in, sometimes the janky candles, they smell so good, and I always buy fruity flavors. And I always like to have one lit up when I'm working here. I like the quietness, that is really quiet. And I don't know, listening right now, Luna is in my chair sleeping while I do this. And she's like a shadow for me. My daughter says you should have put her shadow because she follow me everywhere. And she is such a spoiled, but she's my companion because I'm here. I have an empty nest. Both of my kids. One is, can you believe I'm going to have a 40-year-old son? I can't believe it. And my daughter is going to be uh, 35. My kids are 5 years apart. Um, and they're both not home. My daughter lived about 2 hours, not an hour and a half where I live. She lived out in the country because she likes she likes to work with nature and with plants, and she's a landscaper, architecture landscaper. So she works with plants, and she lives in a mobile home because her mother-in-law had a 3-acre outside of the city. I live in the city, and I live in an old neighborhood that is called the historic neighborhood because this house, my house is 75 years old, and it's double brick. I love my house. I don't have a big house, but I love my house because it's small and it's cozy. And like I say, I love vintage stuff. So if you come to my house and see my house is very eclectic because most of my furniture either I bought in vintage uh, thrift stores. Some I have found in state sales and I repurpose them. I used to, not anymore. So, and then when my kid decided to leave, um, I was still working when they, you know, my daughter went to college and my son, well, decided to move out of the house. I, it was my husband and I. And my house is not big, but we have 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, really nice kitchen. I redid my kitchen because when I moved here, my house only had, it was, they didn't have, and my house was built in 1950s. So I have to upgrade and rewire my entire house when I remodel it because if I blow dry my hair or I even put any electrical uh, utensil or something, the the breakers were flip because it only has 75 amps. I have a little tiny box. So, but when I bought my house, when we bought our house, where I come from, the houses are made of cinder blocks. And when I came here, it was the first time I live in an apartment because I always live in a house. When we live in Puerto Rico, our house was 15 minutes from the beach. So I used to go to the beach a lot. I sometimes will grab a chair when my day's off and pick a book and put some sunscreen and sit down and enjoy. But we kept our home there, but we decided to sell it because we've been here in Arizona for 27 years now. And we were renting it, and now we wish we didn't because with that Airbnb, we could have used our house as an Airbnb and make some revenue. But we, I think we make a good decision because, my mother-in-law was the one who needed to deal with, and then she couldn't deal with it anymore, or my mother when she was alive. So we were renting it, but if something went wrong, my mom and my mother-in-law were the ones who actually if something went wrong with the tenants, they will go to them. So they decide, after it was getting hard for them, we decide to give it to a company to rent our house. And they were charging us, it was getting kind of expensive, plus we needed to pay more taxes over the property because we weren't living the house. It wasn't our primary residence. So, and here we have to pay a bunch of taxes too. So my husband says, we've been here for the longest time. My husband said he don't want to move from here. we were thinking he has 1.5 years to retired. So we decide to stay in the house. I did her hair. Look how pretty. We decide, with the cost of living, the area that I live, it's a very nice area. So I wouldn't complain. It's a good neighborhood because, like I say, it was one of the first development they did in the 50s. And most of the people that live here when we bought were retired people or their kids or something. So now a lot of the tenants had gone to, they're passed away, and most of their kids don't want to live the house. So we have a younger generations, and they have, since this is a historic area, they said that you can't do certain things to change the appearance of your house. So we decided to stay here because right now we could sell our house because it's very central and it's very close to a lot of things. But we're not going to find a house. We remodeled this house. We upgraded everything, the bathrooms, because I used to have a bathroom the same color as Sally, like a seafoam green, because those were the colors. And my kitchen was so small. So we remodeled little by little. We've been, like I say, we've been here 27 years, but we didn't buy a house until we decided we were going to stay. And our kids, went to school, and we says, do you want to go back to Puerto Rico? And they say, no, Mom, I have my friends here. I grew up here. They're both married. My son lived about close to Vegas. He's about an hour and a half from Vegas. And my daughter, like I told you, live here, closer to the border in a very nice little town. There's not much to do there, but they like it because, like I say, they like hiking, fishing, and all of that. I don't. So I don't do camping like I told you and the others. So what else can I tell you about it? So, like I said, I have a lot of fun yesterday. I have to catch up with a lot of your videos because like I say, I've been so busy. And actually, I only told Richard, and that's why he wasn't sure if I was going to make it. On Friday, I wake up. I have really bad migraines. And sometimes my migraines get so bad that I got a condition called vasospastic angina. And that is that I have such a bad migraines that my arteries constrict, and the lack of blood going to it happens also in my heart, and I kind of get like a like I'm having a heart attack, like a chest pain and a horrible headache. So I had a lot of stress, and for a couple of things that I'm going on, and I wake up with a migraine, and I get an aura when I'm going to get a migraine, because I get like my one eye start kind of like, I start seeing little flickers of flickering lights. And then the other thing is I see my eye, one, especially my left eye, is very sensitive to the light, and it start twitching. But I have a headache that I thought my head was going to split in half. And I feel my chest kind of tight. So my husband took me to the emergency room because my doctor don't work on Friday. So I called and they told me to go to the emergency room. So I was there. My blood pressure was extremely high. And I don't have blood pressure problems, but because the headache, my blood pressure was extremely high, and they have to give me IV medication. So, when I talked to Richard, I says, I just came from the ER. He says, what? I says, yeah, because I had sometimes these migraines, but they gave me the medication through the IV. They gave me something for pain, and they made sure that my blood pressure was down. And then I came home, and then I was okay. So my husband has a phobia of hospital. He don't like to go to the hospital unless it's extremely necessary. So that was my adventure on Friday. But Saturday was fun. Yesterday was fun. And I'm gonna finish this, and then I go to the church online. So I will let you go. I will thank you. Like I says, don't forget to check. I will try to put a link when I upload this video so you can watch, enter. You don't have to do anything special. Just be a subscriber. That's it. And be a subscriber and say if you want to enter and where you're from, if you're USA or international, and what is your favorite theme. What do you like? Landscape, animals, cats, or, and that's it. And then you get an entry. So thank you very much for being here with my whip and chat. This is what I'm done so far. Isn't that adorable? Are so fun because you can do them so quick, and your satisfaction of doing them, it's very nice. So thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Take care. Stay creepy. Stay cutie. Stay diamond painting. Bye.